You're a work in progress till the day you die. And it's just whether or not you're going to continue progressing. You can decide to stop. Go, okay, I'm good right here. Or you can keep going. You just start understanding yourself, but without making the mistakes, without trying and falling flat on your fucking face, you're not ever gonna know that. Keep evolving, keep getting better, keep growing, keep challenging yourself, keep elevating. And that's definitely the beginning of the second act for me.
The newest member of the Video Vanguard Award, Jennifer Lopez.
Forge my own path, make my own rules. I just love what I do. You're amazing and I love you. Thank you. I love you. Failures and the downs, like they say, are the things that help you get to now where you feel like, I got this. There is not a successful person where failure is not a huge part of what they've been through, personally and professionally. You have to, before you figure it out. I got knocked down after I got famous. Once you're in the public eye and they can kind of take shots at you, then people start trying to tear you down. Well, she really can't sing, and she really can't act, and she really wasn't that good in that, or, and they just obliterate you. It's just hard. There's a lot going on, a lot of people around all the time, and they all have something to say about you.
Jennifer Lopez.
When you start having success, then the lens gets on you. They're like, who is this? Like at first they're like, nice new girl. And then after you start having a string of good things happen or success, people go, wait a minute, does she deserve this success? She can't really sing like Aretha Franklin, so does she have any merit here? Then they started looking at everything I did.
All of you brainiacs out there speculate that I was naked. It has a bathing suit thing underneath.
No matter how many hit movies you had and how many millions and millions of records you sold, there was always this stigma attached. And then, wait a minute, I sold millions of records and I had tons of hit movies and hey, I must be doing something good, right? And it was like this battle inside my head. I'm like, no, everybody says you suck. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but wait, everything's going good and they keep hiring you. Okay, and then it's like two voices in your head. That was probably the most anxiety-provoking moment of my life, or where my confidence was shattered. It was a hard time. It was a really, really hard time. This was before social media. So this was like the social media of the time, except it was very one-sided. We couldn't say how we felt, so people couldn't get to know us in that way. It's like something happens to you, and it's like everybody thinks that they know what you're thinking or what he's thinking and what's happening between you, and nobody knows. But when the tabloids were out and we were being hounded by paparazzi constantly, it was a really hard time. I remember being on the cover of those tabloids for 2 years straight, and it was brutal. You don't bargain for that side of it, but like I say, you learn how to deal with it. I think it absolutely contributed to the demise of our relationship and the love that we had. There was so much judgment and pressure and scrutiny and opinions, and it was just a really, really hard thing to deal with.
You can lay down at night and know what's right and what's wrong and what's true and what's not. And that has to be your peace of mind.
I mean, people deal with a lot worse stuff in the world than that. But for that moment, it was a hard thing. It was sad. When I found myself a single mom with 3-year-old twins and figuring out like how I was gonna do this, I'd never imagined it that way. And I had waited a long time to have kids because I wanted it to always be perfect. And it wasn't. And I was like, ugh. And so I had a very low point, and then I got this song called Dance Again. I said, I want to dance again. I want to live. I want to love. And it just became like my anthem, my mantra for that whole time in my life. Because what I was going through was learning how to pick myself up. And basically dance again. Was a turning point in my life. Wait a minute, I gotta connect back to that girl who used to take the train and get on there with her Timberlands and just stomp through the streets and wouldn't take no for an answer and knew she was the best and knew that she was gonna be the biggest thing that ever happened in the whole entire world. That's that mentality that you have when you're growing up, and then you have to connect back to it at different times in your life, you realize. Such a learning and growing experience. I'm kind of glad that I went through it. You're not quite the same person you were before. You gotta tap into the positive voice and go, wait a minute. I'm here for a reason. I have worth. I have value. I belong here. And then it's like the second act. Come change the thought. You can change the feeling. You can change the reality. And that stayed with me for very long. When I got divorced, I reconnected back to those mantras and those affirmations. I deserve to be happy. I deserve love. I am youthful and timeless, open and receptive to all the goodness and abundance of the universe. Me and my children live a happy, joyful life full of laughter, and things like that I would tell myself over and over to pick myself up from my divorce, to create a new dream for me and my 2 babies. All of the low points and the failures and the downs, like they say, are the things that help you get to now where you feel like, I got this. I understand me. I know I'm messy sometimes, and I know I'm awesome sometimes. I know that I fall short there, but know what, I'm really good here. Like, you just start understanding yourself. But without making the mistake, without trying and falling flat on your face, you're not ever gonna know that. You're not gonna know, like, oh, I'm gonna fall flat on my face if I do that again. Not going over there. It's not a thing that you get to either. It's a thing that's constantly evolving. You're a work in progress till the day you die. And it's just whether or not you're gonna continue progressing. You can decide to stop. Go, okay, I'm good right here. Or you can keep going, keep evolving, keep getting better, keep challenging yourself. And that's how I like to think.